Welcome in, everybody. It's Wednesday. Got another episode of What's New Wednesday coming at you. This is the final push for the leaderboard, so a lot's been happening. Leaderboard ends on the 22nd, so less than 10 days left. Last week we saw the token price hit 64 cents, which was amazing. There was a patch with a bunch of changes that are good, bad, kind of whatever. We'll see. There's another new weapon crafting event, just like the Christmas, lunar, and shield crafting events that came out last week. And there's the new weekly challenges, crafting challenges, and there is an insane midweek madness event happening right now. But first, let's talk about the token price like we do every week. Last week, I said that I expected to see the token price range between 40 and 50 cents. I said that if we saw a double leaderboard event happen again, we'd probably see some different price action. And I was right. I keep thinking that there's not going to be another double leaderboard event, but there is. This week again, double leaderboard point event was announced on Friday, and we started to see the token price pump up again. So double leaderboard crafting event, right? We got the Wednesday was when I was saying I expected to see us range between 40 and 50 cents. We were ranging between 40 and 50 cents, but then boom, on Friday we get another crafting event announced and we see the token price skyrocket all the way up to 64 cents. Then we saw the token price fall down again. I think the main reason why is because there's some issues with the crafting event we'll talk about. What do I expect to see this week for the token price? It seems like Big Time has sort of created this trend, right? Started with them doing all these double leaderboard events, moving in towards the end of leaderboard 3, and we kept seeing pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. We're seeing that trend, I think, continue. It's probably like self-sustaining at this point. And based on this trend, it seems likely that we'll probably see the token price pump up to over 60 cents, probably over 64 cents again this week moving into the weekend. If we take a look at the price chart here, this is the 4 hour. It looks like we're consolidating down. This seems to be the bottom around 49 cents. But if we see the token price fall below 49 cents for like a couple 4 hour candles, we might see the token price fall down to 45 cents. It just depends on if this trend is going to continue or if we'll see a trend reversal here. If we see a trend reversal, we could see the token price kind of go down to 45 cents. But given the fact that the leaderboard is where it's at and we're almost seeing completion, we'll probably see the token price continue to move up until at least the 22nd when the leaderboard event is over. So I expect to see this week token price go up all the way probably to like 66 cents this week. We'll see. If we look at the 4 hour MACD, you can see that it's looking really oversold. Looks like it wants to start pumping up again like we saw last week. Pumped up. The same thing on the 4 hour RSI, looking really oversold. Great entry position. But if we look at the daily RSI and MACD, it tells a little bit of a different story. Daily MACD is looking like kind of a bit overbought, but if you look last week, the blue line did not cross past the orange line. The week before did not cross past the orange line. Just skipping on top of this line, right? So if it continues to skip on top of this orange line, then I expect to see it go up even further. It definitely could go up a lot further. If we look at the last time it went up to $1, the MACD is way higher. So there's definitely more room here. We just haven't seen it really cross and trend into the red there. It just goes from dark green to light green, from dark green to light green. So I expect to see that trend continue. Same thing with the daily RSI. If we look here, I don't usually like to see this. The RSI is like in the middle of its range here, but week over week, we've seen it do the same thing. Middle of the range, pumps up, gets overbought, sells down to the middle of the range, gets overbought, sells down to the middle of the range. I expect to see this continue again. It doesn't look that scary. So I'm pretty bullish on the token right now. I think we should see a lot more. We should probably see it go up to at least 65 cents, 66 cents sometime, probably within the next week. Token price is looking pretty good for me. And I think that Big Time has sort of created this trend where they do a double leaderboard event. We see a lot of people buying up tokens to do their crafting. That causes some market speculations, market buyers to jump in. Now the market buyers are looking at this and seeing we've got consistently higher highs, consistently higher lows all the way up here. And we're seeing consistent consolidation each week. So I do expect to see the token price keep moving upwards. Once again, though, if there is a trend reversal, then we'll probably fall back down to 45 cents. So that's the token price, guys. Big Time put out a patch yesterday every day with some pretty significant changes. We're going to go over some of them. So some of the changes they put out, gameplay changes. They added some seasonal content. We don't really know what that is. Epoch chests are now per player. So each party member is going to be able to open that epoch chest. But what I've noticed is that the tokens that you get from opening epoch chests are super low right now. Yesterday, they were like 30 tokens you'd get from a chest. Today, they're like 15 tokens you get from a chest on average. So not really worth it. It seems like tokens are dropping more consistently in the chests, but with that little amount of big time tokens dropping from the chests, it just makes it kind of hard to even want to spend 1,500 time crystals on it. Same thing, they made it so that epoch chests are now spawning inside of your space. If you look on open loot, you can see there's an epoch timer alongside the cracked hourglass timer. Once again, I was curious to see how this worked. I opened the first epoch chest in my space without hourglasses on, didn't get any big time, but I went out and equipped my hourglasses and went in, and every box that I opened like 4 more boxes, did have big time, but once again, only like 15 tokens. So really not worth it. I don't really know what they're thinking there, but it's hard to want to spend so much time crystals on epoch boxes that are barely dropping any tokens. So I hope they make a change there and increase that, because it's just not going to be worth it. They'll probably change it if they see people actually stop opening them. Right now, people are just opening them like crazy. I am happy to see the per player epoch chest update, just because there was so much toxicity in parties, especially rando parties, where people would just steal the chest. Like, you might have priority because you rolled on a dungeon or something like that, and they would just open it anyways. It happened to me quite a few times. It was very frustrating. So I do think this solves that problem, but if the big time tokens are going to be that low, then it's still not going to be worth it to open them. I also tried opening some epoch chests when I had the epoch chest bonus roll on it and didn't get any bonuses, so bonus roll seems a bit broken right now. Okay, so they added some more schematic types into the game. That's interesting. I don't really know much more about that. And then the final upgrade is that they've added more rarities of cracked hourglasses. So the new cracked hourglasses, you can have like multiple types of uncommon cracked hourglasses now. You can have the normal ones, but then you can also have these ones that seem to be have like increased NFT drop luck rate on them. When you dismantle those hourglasses, you actually get less big time from them. So I'm not sure what the expectation is. Like, are we expected to run dungeons using these cracked hourglasses? I don't really know, but you know, we'll have to see what kind of results people get. Maybe it does drastically increase your NFT drop luck rate, and it's super worth it to run some dungeons, maybe at least even some normal dungeons with those equipped. So we'll have to see more on that later. The other fixes, they just recently upgraded their server capacity in New York, LA, and Frankfurt servers. Hong Kong, Tokyo, and Seoul and Singapore are going to be upgraded in the next few days. This is due to a large influx in players. We got a lot of more people playing in the past few days, so servers have been like really struggling to keep up. Hopefully we see those improvements actually start to take effect. Next, announcements. So yeah, like I was saying, they did release another crafting event similar to the Christmas, Lunar, and Shield crafting events. This one's called the Lost Weapons of Ancient Egypt. They released it on the 8th. We saw a token pump shortly after that, but I think they made a grave error. The reason why this is a little bit different from, say, the Shield crafting event is that A, you have 3 rare items that you can craft, and you need to craft 2 of them completely out in order to unlock the next phase. And B, they made it so that the rare crafts require a unique special rare schematic, and it's called the Lost Weapons of Ancient Egypt rare schematic. And this is, I think, is a huge error, because when people are rolling for dungeons, they're rolling for token bonuses. If they get like a schematic bonus or 2 in the roll, it's like kind of like, okay, fine, we'll keep it. But people aren't typically running prestiges hunting for schematics. So the result is that there's only about 100 of each one of these weapons crafted so far. It's been since last Friday, right? So we might not even see them be completely crafted out by this Friday. In my opinion, they're gonna have to pivot and do something to make this crafting event work. They're gonna have to either remove the schematic requirement for these rare crafts at least, or change the schematic requirement to just any rare schematic, including the special Egyptian one, or they're gonna have to cut off the crafting for this event. So say like if there's only 100 rares crafted, they just cut it off and move on to the next phase. It'd be kind of interesting to see that, because then these rare crafts would actually be just as rare as a legendary NFT. So we'll have to see. That could be kind of interesting to see, but in my opinion, opinion, they're really going to have to do something to salvage this crafting event, because right now, as it stands, there's no way that 3,000 of these things are going to be crafted when there's barely, like, it's hard to loot a schematic. People aren't racing for them. So we'll just have to see what they do there. Week 8 of the leaderboard weekly challenges is out. There is really only 9 weeks, not even 9 weeks in this crafting event. So week 9 will only go until like Thursday. So this is essentially the last full week of crafting challenges for this leaderboard event. So what are the challenges? We got complete 5 prestige portals. That's really easy to do, and you know, the reward is super low, 750 points. Okay, nothing really special there. But the next thing we got on the list there is craft 2 common, 2 uncommon, and 2 rare pieces of armor, and you can get 15,000 leaderboard points. That's a juicy amount of leaderboard points. I'm a little sad about this just because I just finished doing my 5 epic crafts for this leaderboard, and I wasn't really hoping or planning on crafting any more armor until after the leaderboard. So I guess I'm doing it because I want those points. Next one on the weekly challenges is quite easy to do. Charge 1 common, uncommon, and rare hourglass for any duration, and that'll give you 7,000 leaderboard points. Totally worth doing. Easy one to accomplish. Guys, finally we have a new midweek madness crafting event that's pretty dang interesting. From now until the 15th, just get double leaderboard points on absolutely everything you do. Running prestige portals, completing bounties, every crafting thing that you can do. So get those things going. I'm gonna try doing something crazy and trying to craft like a mythic staff in the next couple of days, but I don't quite have the liquidity to do that right now. So it's gonna be a mad push to try and get the liquidity that I need, as well as the big time tokens that I need, because it's in the middle of the week, right? I still have a few more days until my next airdrop comes out, but we're gonna try for it. I feel like if I manage to craft a mythic staff during this double leaderboard midweek madness event, then I will definitely get into the top 100. That's what I'm going for. That's it for the What's New Wednesday, guys.